welcome to another episode of Mindset, Money, Success. And in this episode, I have a guest, Cornelia Kawann. Would you like to introduce yourself, Cornelia?
Yes, thank you so much, Loraine, for having me. And it's such a pleasure to talk to you and to your amazing audience. And of course, so who I am, I'm an electrical engineer from my background and a personal energy strategist. So now you might ask, what's that, or what is this personal energy strategist doing? And I'm showing busy women, and most of women are busy nowadays with all their obligations for their job, business, and their families and their communities they're in, their aging parents. So I noticed who, if not women, do need energy. And I know in our today's world, everything is about time management. We have all these calendars but I've noticed, what can you do with all the time in the world when you feel miserable? So I figured out, for me, my most precious asset is my energy. And that's what I now show busy women, how they can manage their energy instead of their time. So to make sure they have all the energy to make an impact, follow their goals, and live the life they want to live.
Well, that sounds great. It's really great.
Hello, it's Loraine here. And before we get into today's podcast, let me tell you about school. It's the all-in-one platform that coaches, trainers and creators like us use to share content, engage our audience and build recurring revenue. Whether you're through free membership or paid subscriptions, think $10 to $50 a month or even high-ticket upsells. School makes it stupidly simple. There's highly engaged communities, no more ghost towns. Charge monthly or keep it free, you decide. Zero hidden fees. It's just $99 a month after your first 14-day free trial, and you can cancel at any time. Unlimited members, courses and content, all with mobile app to keep your community connected. And the best part, you own the relationship. No algorithms burying your posts. Just your people, your content, your revenue. Are you ready to build your empire? You can grab a free trial and I'll drop the link in the show notes or below the video. Let's get you paid for what you already know.
So I know that you've published a book, and just the question is, like, what actually led you to write that book and
Honestly, I never wanted to write a book. I know there are many people out there, they dream of writing a book. For me, I thought, other people are writing it. But the thing is, as I said, told you, I started with this experimenting with my own energy. From my background, I'm a scientist. So I always try to find out what's behind, how can I use it in practice? So I figured out there are so many similarities between electric energy and our personal energy. So I thought, if things like resistance, or if there is no energy, or like this Ohm's law, if they work in electric energy, you can apply to ourselves. So I started experimenting with my own energy. And then people kind of started noticing, right? So they figured out, you look different, you react differently, you sparkle, what are you doing? And then I started explaining to them, or even working with them. And then, because we are all very busy, I figured out I need to have like these energy hacks that do not take longer than 3 minutes. And so I showed them these energy hacks, how they can recharge their energy, clean their energy, set energetic boundaries, and it worked for them as well. And then they asked me, why don't you write a book about it? And I said, oh, no. And then finally I thought, yeah, it makes sense to have everything, all these exercises I developed and in one place, explain them. And here we are. That's the book.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how long did it actually take you for the process from like the outline to actually publish? Because I've heard from other authors in the past, and some have taken 2, 3, 4 years. I've even heard just recently one said, oh, it's just took me 6 years to write my first book. So
oh no, I didn't have the time. I'm very, once I decided doing something, then I really have the energy. I put the energy in there, and I can tell you from the first thought of really writing the book to finishing the last chapter, 16 weeks. I wrote every week. I wrote one chapter. The whole book has 16 chapters, and so that it was, once I started, it kind of flew out of me. So it was all up here in my head. I just had to sit down and write down and bring all my personal stories and the stories of my clients into the book. And but you have this experience, but it was my first book. I had no clue. What I completely underestimated was that writing is the simple and fast and quick part. What takes so much longer is then editing, formatting, and finally publishing, and then bring it out into the world. And it took as long, I think even longer than these 16 weeks.
yes.
And so that was kind of my journey.
Yeah, I think with my journey on writing, it was like it was born in my mind in August of 2020. That's when it came in, and I actually spoke the words, I'm going to write the story. And then I didn't actually do my outline until months later, because I'd gone through some real traumatic stuff. And so it took us 8 months to get to a position where I felt strong enough to start to write. But even then, when I started in April of 21, it took me till May of 22 to actually get it finished and actually published. And I did everything myself. I didn't have any publishing thing to help us along. I was research and then do, and that was it. Oh dear.
But
So
no, may I jump in here, because I think it's not. Because there is one thing most people or most authors don't speak about, and this is exactly for your podcast. It's the mindset.
yes.
Because it's not about the mindset of writing a book. It's all these, I call it energy blockades, that kind of hold you back and keep you from finishing, right? And so for me, like at the beginning, I didn't tell anybody, not my family, nobody. I was nobody telling that I'm writing a book, because I felt ashamed in a way. What if it doesn't work out? If I won't finish? If people don't like it, right? And then I don't even. Then I had this big thought, I can't write, But when I was a teenager, I wrote a lot, and I really enjoyed it. So I figured out, there are all these blocks and blockers and limiting beliefs, and I really had to look into them. And once I removed them, then kind of things started flowing. And this is why, because probably for some people, writing takes so long, because they are not removing these blocks as soon as they figure out, there is something holding me back, because then you can really write. But, even before publishing, there were some blockers coming up. It's a journey. Writing a book, I don't have to tell you, it's a journey to yourself. And you learn so much about yourself while writing this book. And for me, it was also, I really released a lot, let things go, looked into things. So it was really also very personal development.
Yeah, that's true. I can remember time where I didn't want to write anything at all because I was procrastinating over actually getting the words down. And that must have been lots of blocks and like mental blocks that I had. So that's why I think it took me so long to actually get through that whole process. And there was lots of other things going on in my life at the time as well, which interrupts the flow, I think. But yeah, I know what the journey is like.
Yeah, it's really a process writing this book for you, and also creating this book, and even then publishing. I also had a lot of problem. Like at the end, everything was done, but then kind of the format that just didn't finish my book formatting, right? And so I couldn't publish it. And it took like ages, and this guy was not responding and nothing. And I got so angry. I thought, this guy is blocking my book publication. And then all of a sudden, I sat back and I said, wait a minute. Everything here has something to do with me. So there is something in me preventing this book being published, right? And there were so many fears when I looked into it. And so I really sat down, worked on this for 1.5 hours. And guess what? An hour later, the formatted book was in my mailbox, and I could publish it. I could upload it to Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's all, if things don't work as they should or as you expected, then it also has something to do with you. And it's always important that if you will really want to move on, it's better you look into it and heal it and work on it.
Yeah, that's good advice. It's like I knew that I was in certain low vibrations, the fear and the uncertainty of a situation I was actually in, and to try and like overcome that situation, I started a YouTube channel, and all the videos I was putting out, because I didn't have any paid platforms to help create the videos with, so I was creating these videos, and these were 5-minute affirmation videos that I, like for gratitude and empowerment, and it was all around that, and at that point in time it actually helped boost my confidence and self-esteem just to do something. I don't know why I was doing it. I just wanted to do something, and that's what I did. So it was really strange that just by speaking certain phrases and sentences, I could feel the energy flow through my arms and my body. It's like a different, like a tingling sensation while I was actually recording. I was like, wow. And so it was a weird experience for me. I've never felt that type of energy before. And so it did help, I think, to move me forward with confidence and gaining a little bit of, momentum, even though I wasn't putting my face to the camera, because it was all images and videos that I was just speaking the words. And I think it took me a long time before I could actually turn the camera on and have my face and speak. It was really bizarre doing that, but it's just another step and then another step and then another step.
Congratulations on that. It's so good to talk to you now and not to a video.
Yeah.
And you look so confident, really. Congratulations. You must be very proud of you, what you've achieved.
Well, I've been through a lot and I've achieved a lot all at the same time. So it's really, really, it's been bizarre, like I say. But I'm still here and I'm still going. So, what I wanted to ask you was, is there any of these powerful energy exercises that you might want to share with us?
Oh yeah, there are a couple of I could share. Just let me think which one. Yeah, the first one I think that would be good now is and it's a very easy one, and I really like it, and it's all about heart-brain coherence. And heart-brain coherence in a way, because we have in a way two cycles running in our body. The one is the brain cycle, and then we have the heart cycle. And as an engineer, I can tell you, if this cycles are synchronized, it's kind of the optimal state for your body. And all the processes in your body, they work, you have kind of the least losses. So this brings my heart as an electric engineer really kind of up high, because we want to avoid losses and have like the highest efficiency and to get most out of our systems. And I use this exercise very often before some meetings or have some important calls, or sometimes even just in the morning when I get up to really, in a way, calibrate my system. So because when you have a really amazing start in the morning, then the rest of the day, most of the time, is on a different frequency and a different energy as well. So, and the exercise is quite easy, and there's you can join. You can put your left hand on your heart, wherever it feels comfortable, and then you put your right hand on your forehead. And I close my eyes because then I can concentrate better. And then you just you can do it quietly or speak it out loud and say, "I bring my heart and brain into coherence now."
I bring my heart and brain into coherence now.
And take some time, of course. So just keep breathing through, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And I don't know if you have noticed, because I do most of my energy exercises when I'm standing. So my body tilted forward when I started the exercise, and it's with all my exercises that I'm doing. And when the exercise is done, my body tilts back upwards. And then I know my systems are in coherence. And of course, it's now a quick exercise, and I'm doing it very often. So for me, it doesn't take long to create this coherence between heart brain. But when you do it probably the first time, it will maybe really you should take this full 3 minutes to stay in this position. You can go to the restroom or, where nobody is seeing you if you feel uncomfortable. And then you will feel, I don't know, do you feel a difference? Of course, we didn't do it long, but do you feel a difference?
It wasn't very long, but I think practice, would make it, like, repetition is the thing with any mindset or energy shift. I think it is repetition quite often, isn't it? So I think once you've learned a tool or a method, you use it on a regular basis. So yeah, it's something I might try tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, maybe you need to, I think not maybe more often, but when you have the need, you think, yeah, let's try this out. Maybe at the beginning it takes longer. You need to take that into account. And now for me, it's completely quick.
Yeah.
And what my clients are saying, they feel much more centered and connected with themselves. So in a way, you're calmer, and when you're calm, when you're relaxed, in a way, your brain and your heart, they're working so much more efficient. You have better ideas, and you're more creative, and that's what it's in a way it's all about.
That sounds great, because obviously I know from my past and what's happened, sometimes there's so much going on. You're just bombarded with a lot of like negative energies that come towards you, and breaking out of that can be quite difficult. So yeah, so the affirmations work up to a point, but I think when there's a lot going on, it's like why I did the trauma informed certification that I did, so I can understand that part and how you can move through really bad situations. But what you've just shown me, I think that's a good thing to practice, because a lot of the affirmations is that you can put your hand on your heart to feel the the energy and the beat of your heart, I think, once you start to repeat the affirmations. I've seen a lot of people do that, but I've never seen having your hand on your head. So that's something completely new to me.
Okay, I'm glad I could show you something new. And I wanted to add, because you mentioned affirmations, right? And I have to say, before I came into my energy world, and I also started with affirmations, but I have to admit, I found it so hard. I had like these post-its all over the place with these affirmations, and then you have to do it for 30 days, and then you forget one day, you have to start all over again. And I thought I was just too impatient, and I thought there must be a easier way for that, right? And so that's kind of drove me to get also into these energy exercises, because I thought, for me, it was not in a way sustainable, because when you have like this limiting belief, right? And what you're doing with like affirmations is, the limiting belief is still there, but you're putting like a positive or a supporting belief on top of it. So, and I thought that didn't feel right for me, because underneath, the original problem is still there. You're just kind of putting some band-aid on it, and hope it's holding, and then you move on from there. So I thought there must be a so much more sustainable solution to this problem. And that's why I thought, first of all, I need to remove this limiting belief. And the limiting belief, if you look at it, it's just a frequency. So I know what a frequency is. So why not just removing this frequency from my energy system? And it works like this. This is not a problem. So, and then you can even activate supporting beliefs you want to have. But I wanted to go a step further. And I thought, why is this limiting belief in my life in the first place? And I need to go there and then heal there. And that's kind of what my energy work is all about, to find out kind of the root cause of certain problems or situations I'm in, and then work on the root cause, and then all these stored emotions, limiting beliefs, and everything connected with the situation goes away at the same time.
That's very powerful. And I have heard a lot about the limiting beliefs from some of the books, and I used to actually listen to motivational speakers like Jim Rohn a long time ago, and obviously it was on cassettes when I was buying these things. I used to listen to these motivational speakers. And I think the limiting beliefs, you've got to keep on repeating and repeating to break through the limiting belief. The scarcity mindset was another one all the time, that, thinking in a scarcity situation that you haven't this and you haven't that, and instead of thinking of the abundance type of thing and having that mindset shift, because it's quite easy to slip into that negative frame of mind. So yeah, and it's quite often it's not just about the mindset, although it's a lot of it is mindset. The other part of the equation is the action steps to get to point A to point B, and then keep on taking actions.
Yeah, but what I think is, sorry, is with positive affirmations and meditations and uplifting podcasts, whatever, I'm fully with you. It can raise your frequency. But the thing is, if these heavy emotions, stored emotions, and limiting beliefs are still there, they are so strong. If you can't keep that high frequency, you fall back down. And it's the same with meditation, but because many people, they're really meditating, they feel so good, and I do meditation as well. But as soon as they open their eyes, they're back in their normal life again, because then you immediately fall back to your original frequency you're vibrating on. And that's why also people develop like walking meditation. So in a way, you stay in this frequency. And my theory on this, and that's how I'm working, is if you don't remove these low vibrating frequencies from your system, you will always fall back down there. You can't hold it for a very long time. And that's what my work is about. On one side, show people how they really can get in these high frequencies. And then on the second step, as you're saying, you need to remove all these stored emotions and limiting beliefs, so you actually can keep this high frequency for over a longer period.
Yeah. That is when you're in a safe space, I think, because I know from a lot of the people that I talk to who have been in a traumatic situation, trying to move out when they're still when they're not in a safe space, or not financially secure, not having, if they're in a toxic relationship, or they're trying to get out of a situation, it's very difficult. So I'm just wondering, obviously, if you've worked with any types of clients like that, because I know you say you've worked with female executives who are busy and stuff like that, to help them move their energies. But have you come across anyone who has been through sort of an abusive situation, a domestic abuse, or any traumas that have actually helped people with your energy exercises?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, I don't have many clients, but I have worked with people with traumas energetically. And what my method makes it so, because many of them had their therapist or whatever, and what they figured out, why my method suited them better, was because we don't go back into that situation. Because you're so often re-traumatized by going there, reliving all these emotions, the situations, whatever. It's terrible. For me, that's not how I work. Sometimes you don't even need to. It's just frequencies and energies. And if you look at it from this perspective, it's not so traumatizing, and you remove that. And there are also other things. I have some techniques for traumatized people, and they're really very special. But it's a process. But my approach is definitely that you don't have to go back there.
Yeah. I think that's a key thing, to be quite honest, because a lot of the trauma sufferers, where they've been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, they do keep going back. It's one of the things that is, they wake up on the morning and it's the first thing they think about. They go to sleep at night, it's the last thing that they think about, and it's always just like repeating. It's a bit like I said, you're on this like merry-go-round, and you don't know when it's going to stop to get off. And that's what I've experienced. But I think what's helped me was moving through and learning new things, because on the emotional energy vibration, learning new skills is quite higher type of energy vibration. So I think that's something that helped lift me, just by looking at the new skills that I wanted to learn and actually putting that into practice by starting the YouTube channel, starting the podcast. And I've never come across the things that you're talking about. I've never come across that type of thing, these energy, although, the meditations and the affirmations, I've knew about in the past, but the energy thing is that a little bit like, because I know in the past people have talked about energy healing and Reiki. So is that something similar with the Reiki and the energy healing type thing? Is it something similar?
I think, yeah, if you speak about energy healing, there's nothing new, and this had been for centuries, right? And in different Asia and all over the place. So people either healed with their hands or with their minds, right? But if you look at it from a meta aspect, it's just energy and its frequency, and you can use it for healing. You can use these frequencies for many things, right? And so in a way, it's just, I think it's nothing new what I'm saying, but in a way, the way I explain it, it's maybe new because there are many energy healers out there, and they have these gifts. They can heal or they can support, but most they can't explain it. And I think my USP, in a way, what makes me standing out in my work is I have this technical background because it's pure physics. And that helps people a lot to understand it, right? And deal with it from a different perspective, from a different angle. And that sometimes, because as you said, sometimes you're just stuck in a certain cycle. And it's all about taking the decision, this is the past. I can't change the past. It happened. But what you always can change, the actual moment, how you deal with it, and with that, your future. And this is your decision, do I want to really let go and assume it's just energy, it's frequencies, it was in the past, I don't want to carry this on, and now I'm moving in a different direction. And that helps people more to really close this kind of, it's always part of you. And it's but the key is, don't let it have any influence on you anymore.
Yeah, I think that is what it's all about. It's like to think that what's happened is gone, and so release what's happened, and then work on the present moment and think about the things that you want to achieve, the new goals, and a place of what's the first thing that you want to achieve. If you're starting from a ground zero and starting to rebuild from scratch, then I think it's looking at a first step and what is enough to that person, because every person's goal will be different, and obviously depending on where you are in your life, if you've still got your children, if you're nearly retired. So yeah, I think then once you've worked on that, that's when you can say, let's just make a little step, and then another little step, and another little step, until you can feel that more empowered and more positive on your outlook, and leave everything that's happened in the past. It's a massive step for some people, and I know it has been for myself. Just to go through what I've been through, it's been a massive.
Wow, I can imagine. Wow, yeah.
But things are improving slowly, and I'm getting there. So
yeah, I've heard so many stories, and I think it's incredible what people manage to get through, and then really leave it behind. And I'm really in awe from all this courage and yeah, how people get through it. So really, congratulations. You can be very proud of you.
Yeah. So we haven't got much longer left, to be quite honest. I think 5 minutes. So is there anything else that you want to share with the listeners?
Yes. I'm just looking into my book for 1 second, because actually in the in the book, there's also, most of it there, there are 39 exercises in there. As I said, there are 38 are in there. There are 3-minute exercises. So really, how do you can manage your energy and change your frequencies. So there is one exercise I really wanted to share for you, and I think it's on page 173. It's in the Let Go chapter, and here there is a little graph, and this is kind of all the different energy blockades that can exist. Like, it's a rough overview. There might be some others, and there is also a process explained how you can let go these energy blockades. Like, this can be like pain or blame. Then it's also about forgiveness, how you would work with your inner child. Energetic arrangements, also beliefs. So that's just an idea. If you really want to get deeper into it, how to work with your with these frequencies, there is also a process, and this, of course, takes a little bit longer, at least at the beginning, to work with this wheel of energy blockades.
It sounds brilliant. So what we'll have to do is share the link to your book in the podcast notes and under the video when I publish this. So
I'm very happy to do so. Yeah, thank you so much.
yeah, that would be great. And then listeners can look at the book and perhaps even order it. So that would be great. So thank you, Dr. Cornelia, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much. It's always Cornelia. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Thank you for being my guest on the podcast.
Oh, yes, thank you so much for having me and for this amazing conversation. And it was very, also, I think we created a very healing and positive energy. So I'm quite sure it also is perceived this way by your audience, and that's what it is all about. And there's one thing: if anybody wants to find out how it is working with my methods and with frequencies and energies, I'm offering also a complimentary half-an-hour personal energy strategy session, and you just can book that on my webpage. It's corneliakawann.com.
Right, okay. Send me the link. I'll put that in the show notes for you. All right. Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, and energy on.